So, this is for you.
No, but why does that kind of look a little bit like me?
In what sense? Hi, I'm Katie, the history gossip, and today we are joined by NHS A&E doctor, TikTok sensation, Maddy Lucy Dann. Hello. Thank you for coming to History Yappers.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
No, you're welcome.
Good, I am welcome.
Yeah.
So,
why are we fighting?
Do you know much about history?
Embarrassingly, no.
Oh.
So I'll see myself out.
Okay,
No, so my mum was a history teacher. She's alive. She's just retired. Let's clarify, there was.
And you work in a hospital?
I do, yes.
Well, as you just said, yes.
A bit of a side hustle.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a hobby.
So did you know that hospital medicine was first practiced systematically in France after the French Revolution?
That's why it was so bad before, and that's why they revolved.
That's a good word, yeah.
Is that really true?
It is, because it's on my card. So it means it is true.
Fact check.
Basically, after the French Revolution, they were shutting down all the hospitals. Because it was connected to the church. They were like, you know, if you get dysentery and die, like, that's not my problem.
It's God's will.
Exactly. Everyone will just be like hunky dory, funky fresh, and there'll be no illnesses like ever again, and it'll all be really nice.
How did it go?
Yeah. Yeah. But instead of abolishing hospitals, they ended up reinventing medical training and practice. Isn't that good? Perks of like chopping everyone's heads off.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of like...
Yeah. I think they could have reached that without the head chopping. And interestingly, I think since that, medical practice just has not changed. There's a lot of stuff that we do that is relatively barbaric, like trephining. It's where you get like a red hot needle, so maybe with like a lighter. If there's blood underneath the nail and you just make a hole in the nail and the blood spurts out, it's barbaric and I love it.
The question is, did Versailles smell like an anime convention? Yes or no?
I don't think it was, because I think they would have had like loads of fresh flowers and dried flowers, and they would have had lots of things to distract away from the stench of manure.
Well, there's about 3,000 people like living in Versailles at the time, and they didn't have many shitters.
Were they still throwing it out the window? They didn't have modern day sanitation, did they?
No, not at the time. And then you're wearing these like fuck off massive dresses. You've not got a bit of any Febreze on you.
Oh.
It's just like honking. Would you rather wear lead-based makeup that would scar your skin, cause hair loss, and eventually poison you to death? Or would you use dead animal hair to just do like some bushy brows?
I'd go for the dead animal hair.
Why?
As a medical doctor, putting lead on your face is a terrible idea.
So, are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Would you rather have the job title Le Porte Chandelle, which means the candle holder, or would you rather be the groom of the stool, also known as the royal bum wiper?
Here's the thing, if I got to hold it at arm's length, because I've got impressively limp wrists.
What, on wiping
It's my rapper name. Well, I feel like that's an action, but if I've got to hold a candle, I'm going to get a carpal tunnel.
So you'd rather wipe someone's arse? Bear in mind, people weren't really washing their hands.
Oh, yeah. I think I'd hold the candle, but I would just do it badly. I'd get wax all over the floor.
Because this thing, like the Porte Chandelle, that comes from the phrase third wheeling. Okay. And it's meant to mean you hold a candle whilst two people are shagging, and it lets people,
if you'd
it's like
given
a secret.
me that
I didn't want to,
information,
because I didn't want to ruin it.
No, that would have...
No.
I would have gone even more that way.
Oh, would you?
Yeah,
okay.
You know.
Okay.
You know?
So, would you like to play a game of Shag, Marry, Kill?
Yes, please.
Good, that was the right answer again. So, this is for you.
No, but why does that kind of look a little bit like me?
In what sense? This is Madame de Pompador. You saying you'd smash yourself? Kind of.
Not even kind of. I would.
100%.
Prop a mirror up.
Nice.
Get busy.
So, green flag. She loved pink so much that shade was named after her. She could do lots of things because she was this flag. She could open her mouth in many ways because she learned to sing opera. I don't know why you're laughing. Red flag. She stopped shagging the king due to poor health because she suffered after effects of whooping cough, spitting blood and headaches. So this is Madame de Montespan.
She looks like she's looking in the back of a spoon.
That's controversial because her green flag is that she was an alleged absolute worldie 10 out of 10.
In the sack.
Back in the day.
Yeah, she's dead now.
She is dead.
Rubbish in bed now.
R.I.P. Miss her. But she was caught up in the affair of the poisons. And basically this is an affair where people were buying poisons to get rid of the spouses and rivals, and she got caught up in that.
So she's a drug dealer?
No.
Pulls up in her carriage, get in.
Okay. The moral of the story is she went to a convent in the end, bless her.
Oh, no shagging there.
Nah.
Well,
She found Jesus, bless her. Madame de Barry is the final one.
The blush is exactly how I do mine.
Like way too much. No, it's not. So, green flag, she rose from a peasant to a royal mistress through like
Dragons.
good chat.
Good chat. Oh,
Good chat.
okay.
She knew how to open her legs as well. But a red flag is that she faked a birth certificate in a good lineage, so she could like shag the king.
She's basically Anna Delvey.
She is.
French Anna Delvey.
She is, yeah. Who are you gonna shag? Who are you gonna marry? And who are you gonna kill?
I'm going to shag Madame de Pompador.
Because she looks like you.
Because she looks
You're
like me.
narcissist, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, but we will exclusively do doggy. Marry Madame de Barry and kill the spoon.
What have you learned? What are your picks and what are your icks?
I think this will have no forward impact on my life, honestly.
But you
Yeah.
feel like you've learned something.
Yeah, I actually
I've
have.
educated.
No,
you.
I have learned loads. I can't wait to rewatch the episode to remember what I've learned. It's
Brilliant.
been really, really interesting actually, for sure, for real. We use
Anyway.
ketamine at work,
Yeah.
sometimes on the patients.
Shut up. No, you don't. You're lying. No, you don't.
No, we do use it on the patients,
Why?
ketamine. It sedates you, it pain relieves you, and it makes you forget what happened. So for procedures, like if your ankle's off at a funny angle, it's an
You know, just put
excellent drug.
anaesthetic. Is that what it's called? General anaesthetic?
Oh, so you think you have a better idea?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
Okay.